Rev up your engines! Alright, today you're going to learn about the Mazda CX-30. This one, he just bought it used. It's a 2023. He had to buy this because he was in a Mazda 3, got in a big wreck, and he had a hard time getting in and out of it anyways. And he found out that the CX-30, he has no problems getting in and out. Now, why would you buy one of these, say, instead of like a Toyota RAV4 or something? Okay, he paid $27 for this. If you're going to buy a RAV4, you could add at least 20 grand on that price tag. Hey, this thing gets 34 miles a gallon on the highway. It has an actual 6-speed automatic transmission. Who's going to complain about that in that price range? Now, I have to admit, decades ago, Mazdas had a lot of problems. Their automatic transmissions, they had a lot of problems. But Toyota owns, I believe, 20% of them now, and their quality has been going up, where another company's quality is going down. So, I see nothing against buying a CX-30. I have customers with them. They're totally happy. Now, as we walk around, we can see it's a beautiful vehicle. Right? Mazda lately has made some really nice looking cars. There's no arguing that. It is a small SUV. Americans call it a compact. In Asia, they think it's a giant car, but here they call it a compact SUV. But, hey, it's still got room. Now, when we open it up, of course, you can see, yeah, there's a limited amount of leg room with the seats put back. That's just how it goes. But since this is a high-end one, it's got beautiful seats, very comfortable. And if you're the type of person who wants all-wheel drive, this is all-wheel drive. He lives in Wisconsin. I've been in northern Wisconsin in the winter. Sometimes there's 8 or 10 feet of snow, so it probably comes in handy there. Now, one of the reasons he bought it is because of what's under the hood. It's got a nice 4-cylinder engine. We'll take the stupid beauty cover off, throw it in the grass. It's 4 cylinders, but there is no turbocharger on this thing. Mazda always calls themselves Zoom Zoom. They're still zippy cars without a turbo, but without a turbo, guess what? This engine is going to outlast any 4-cylinder engine that has a turbocharger in it. There's less pressure in the engine. They hold up longer over time. You're better getting a little bit bigger engine with no turbo than getting like a little 1.5 or 1.1 liter engine with a turbo that puts out the horsepower, but it really limits the lifespan of the vehicle. This isn't going to have that problem. It's a 2.5 liter, and what's it connected to? An actual automatic transmission. As we look inside, this has a real automatic transmission, not one of those stupid CVTs. It's a 6-speed automatic transmission with gears, and it's pretty much fun to drive. But unlike the Mazdas of decades ago, these transmissions are relatively bulletproof because of their relationship with Toyota, sharing engineering and stuff. Mazda and Toyota down south, I believe it's Alabama, they're making cars on the same assembly line. So the quality of these things is much better than it was. And people always have a little time lag in how they think. A lot of people still think Toyotas, they're the best, so the prices are still high. Where some people, especially if they've been around a little while, they might have bought a Mazda 20 years ago with a bad automatic transmission. They're like, yeah, I'll never buy another one of those. You might rethink it when you go and look at the price of a Toyota SUV compared to the price of this with what you get inside. I've had a lot of customers buy these things because of that. They figured they got more value for their money in a product that was almost equivalent to the Toyota, but would be anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 less. So when you consider a nice 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, 35 miles a gallon with an all-wheel drive vehicle, I haven't seen these particular ones have any problems, unlike the turbos that I do see problems with, believe me. If there's one thing you get out of my videos, it's don't buy a turbo car unless it's a diesel. The diesel engines are stronger. They can take it. They're made for turbochargers. They had turbochargers on decades and decades ago. But you're buying a gasoline car, my advice, stay away from turbochargers if you want long life. Now, maybe you want to be real zippy. You get rid of your cars every 5 years. They get 100,000 miles. You say goodbye car. Well, that might be okay for you then. But with times as tight as they are, the average American car is something like 14 and a half years old now. Hey, you don't want to have a turbocharged car that's that old, especially with a small engine. Stay away from them if at all possible. Look at the problems Toyota's had with their V6 turbos in the Tundras. Hey, that just says it all. So we plugged our old scan tool in. There she blows. As you can see, it's got 26,000 miles on it. He bought it used with 20,000. And it's doing its thing, linking itself up, scanning the vehicle. There's no codes, which we didn't expect. So let's look at live data. We'll start her up. And we'll start analyzing everything. Okay, remember, black is good, red is bad. I don't expect any problems. This vehicle's only got 20-something thousand miles on it. Airflow is correct. That's going good. Oxygen sensor data is normal. And look at the fuel trim. Zero. Zero fuel trim. Both of them. Zero. Zero. These things are well made. Zero trim, you can't get any better than that. Now, of course, it's got electronic parking brake. They all have electronic parking brakes these days. I hate those things. Also has an auto hold. You can do regular or you can do sport. We'll put it on sport. You can see there. Now it's in sport. Not only does it go zoom zoom, but the music goes zoom zoom. It's got all kinds of music adjustments. So let's take it for a spin. We can see there. It's got a decent backup camera. First thing I noticed, man, smooth idle. You can shift it manually if you want, but I'm filming, so it's automatic all the way for me. You can barely even feel it shift. The click was the automatic locking doors, which they all have, of course. Small wheelbase car, but it has a decent ride. You're always going to get a little bumps on something that's this small frame that it's on, and that it's a really compact, some people even call them subcompact SUVs. Of course, it's going to feel a little bit bumpy when you're going. It really corners good. You'll feel bumps when you hit bumps. It's like my wife's Matrix. It's only going to do so much smoothing out of the bumps when it's a sports utility vehicle that's a sporty. And I do have it on sport mode too, but it really is fun to drive around. Here we go on tobacco road. We'll wait till that truck gets out of the way. He's going mighty slow. Country boy in his pickup truck. So we'll go even slower as long as there's nobody behind us. We'll look behind us. I don't see anybody in the rear view mirror, so we can go pretty slow. And we come to a stop. And here we go. Really smooth shifting. Now, it's not a race car, but hey, we're doing 51 now. Guy keeps putting his brakes on. Nobody knows why. Must be an old man. Hey, I might be old, but at least I'm not slow. Now, we are getting a little wind noise here, so I'm assuming this was a used car, and we believe it was a rental car. I'm guessing it was probably hit on this side at one point in time, because my wife's Matrix was before we bought it. And there's a little wind noise coming through. Nothing outrageous, but it would bother me. And of course, being a Mazda, they're supposed to be zoom zoom. Instead of slowing down on this curve, we'll speed up a little. And really, no problems whatsoever. It's a fun little car to drive around, I gotta say. Very smooth driving in sport mode. I like it. And I do have to say, these seats are really comfy. They just hug you. I would have no problem driving from Tennessee to Rhode Island back in this baby. Now we're on the other side of the airport. They're building up here. And hey, it's a nice, smooth running little car. I can see why people buy these, to save 10 or 20 grand over buying a Toyota product like a RAV4. And as you can see, it's got the lane departure. I just let go for a second and then see, it knows it's wiggling, telling me I'm getting too close to the lane outside. Knowing me, it would annoy me because it'd be going off all the time. I am really amazed at how smooth it shifts though. You don't even feel it going through those 6 shifts. Even under full load when I took off, it shifts smooth. It didn't go, it was very smooth. What do I think of this Mazda CX-30? Well, for the money, really, you can't beat it, I gotta say. I like the 6-speed automatic, not one of those crappy CVTs. I like the 2.5 liter gasoline non-turbo engine. Gonna last longer, got plenty of pickup, but it still can get 35 miles a gallon on the road with all-wheel drive. This is all-wheel drive too. That makes a big difference. And here's the thing, they pretty much perfected it. I didn't even notice my whole drive that it even was all-wheel drive. It's a great system, it works when it needs to. So really, for the money, the CX-30 is a pretty good car. And since he bought it, with the coming recession, it seems, the prices for these used ones has gone down $3,000 or $4,000 less, and they seem to be dropping. Might not be a bad time to buy one if you've got the money, because if the recession comes, you might not have any money at all. And with the advantage of all-wheel drive, hey, it's a pretty good package in that price range, I gotta say. Mazda's definitely going up in quality. Just realize one thing, get them with real gears. This is a 6-speed automatic. Get them without turbos. They're gonna last longer. Listen to me, you'll save yourself a lot of grief if you're the type of person that keeps your car a long time, and since the average American car is like 14 and a half years old, a lot of people are agreeing with me these days. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.